Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. If you're here, please kindly put a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Also, as always, before we begin, here's a link to my Patreon private group where I do all the market updates, where I have my millionaire spreadsheet with all the targets, my $99 here with all the 100x plays, and with all my video course and TA analysis and all that. So if you want to join, go ahead. Otherwise, how are you doing? If you're here, say hello, my friends, and put a like, please. Don't be shy. Say hi as always. American Phoenix says, hello, Rob. Hello, my friend. Hello, 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 my friends. How's everybody doing? How's everyone doing today? Put a like, my friends. Don't forget, please. All right, so let's get down to it. Recently, we've had the market correct. We had basically a lot of people go from 100K Bitcoin targets to $10,000 Bitcoin targets as the market fluctuates. It's quite amusing to watch. It really is just amusing. I came here just to tell you in case you missed the live, in case you missed the Patreon update. Go read that. Read the Patreon update. Remember to stay disciplined. Remember not to force entries. Remember to stick to our plan, not deviate from the plan. Remember to execute entries only where they're supposed to be executed. Just because the market is still in the bullish structure, it doesn't mean that it can't break down and go lower or anything, right? You have to be prepared. You have to stick to the plan. You can't do anything. That's not part of the plan just because out of sheer emotions, because you saw some bullish tweet or video, or whatever it is, right? We have currently basically news that institutions like Deutsche Bank, that have like 1.3 trillion apparently under management, and a lot of other BlackRock, Fidelity, or they're all launching places where apparently crypto will be sold, exchanges and whatnot, all these news. Once again, as always, when this news comes out, people think it's very bullish. I don't think it's anything bullish. You see the price is not moving. I don't think it's really going to affect the price. I know people always have this understanding that it's somehow going to affect the price. It's not. I just also think it's quite amusing that, since history has proven that institutions are not our friends, right, that they would give us like a heads up that they're basically doing it. I do not believe that they're going to have they're going to enter the market at worse prices than we did. Because during the FTX crash that we had like months ago, when we were accumulating the crashes we're waiting for, where we dollar cost averaged and diversified, they apparently were not buying there, right? So now they want to buy here. It makes no sense. They really want to have worse targets than retail. It does not make any sense to me. So I believe that since they are the people who control the websites, the mainstream media, own the channels, literally all these conglomerates, right? Therefore, they control the narrative. I really believe that it's very possible they would do everything they can to push the prices down to make sure that they're ahead of the retail investor. Scare them and make sure they're not buying, or make sure that they're selling just to make sure they get better entries. We don't know which way exactly the market is going to go right now. If you know my Patreon, you know that we waited for these huge crashes for a very long time. We started dollar cost averaging and diversifying. A lot of the targets hit. A lot of the targets didn't. All we can do right now is, like I said, I'm roughly 50% in the market, roughly 50% outside of the market. Either way the market goes right now, at this point, if you're a Patreon member, you have to be prepared. If it goes south, we continue dollar cost averaging. We have the super low targets for a reason, right? To make sure that we stay afloat, and when the market turns before, we'll make a lot of money. If it starts pumping now, once again, we're going to make a lot of money. Either way, right? We have the strategy that we have for a reason. So I'm neither bullish nor bearish right now. Right now, what happened also with Bitcoin went retraced from 31,000 back to roughly 25,000 and below. Once again, if you were on my Patreon, we expected that. We've been analyzing the same chart for Bitcoin for months on end now, and it's done pretty much exactly what we expected it to do. And if you're on the Patreon, once again, go read the update to see what's supposed to happen next. What matters is not what our thoughts and expectations are. What matters is what our actions are. And we have to make sure that our actions are in accordance with the strategy that we use. And we have to be prepared for huge pumps. We have to be prepared for huge dumps at this point. It's no longer basically when the market was super, super toppy, near $60,000, when I started selling everything and saying, get out, take huge profits, set stop losses. It's no longer like that. We already got to the point where Bitcoin crashed 80%, also have crashed 95 and 99% and 90% respectively. So that doesn't mean, though, that they can't crash further, because as I mentioned, I've been here for 2 market cycles. This is my third. I've been in situations where basically I waited for Bitcoin to crash 70% from 20K to roughly 6K. I bought there, first entry was executed, and then it dropped over 50%. So my first entry was at the loss over 50%. but I kept dollar cost averaging, and I dollar cost averaged, at 5K and 4K and 3K, brought down my average, and then when it hit 60K, made a lot of money, right? So the point, once again, just because something fell hard doesn't mean it can't keep falling. Just because something, let me rephrase it. What I'm trying to say is basically at this point we have to be prepared for both scenarios. If the market crashes further and gives us those new lows in the million spreadsheet, that's when we'll turn very bullish. Just like when we turn very bearish near the 60,000 Bitcoin top, although the top was 69,000, I'm talking about near 60,000 Bitcoin. That's where we started turning very bearish. Right now we're in the middle, right? We're prepared for both scenarios. If we go south hardcore, we're turning super bullish. If we start going up hardcore, we'll start turning bearish. Right now, it's neutral territory. This is still a zone where you can accumulate for a lot of coins. If you don't know, once again, what to accumulate and what prices, go get the Monia spreadsheet. It's literally $5. It will save you a lot of hassle. Ahmed Yusuf is saying, hello, my friend. Darcy says, hey, Rob, good to catch you live. It's awesome to have you here. Darcy, thank you for joining. Mark says, hi, Mark. Love 006. Good morning from Northern California. Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining. Matthias says hello from Slovenia. Hello, my friend. XRP Hitman says great day in VA Beach, Virginia. Wish I was in Dubai though. You don't, my friend. Trust me. Dubai is very hot right now, 40 degrees. TT says hello, legend. When you think we are entering bull run 2024? Well, my friend, we'll address that. We're taking a step at a time. I have addressed that several times. It depends on whether or not 4-year cycles will be intact, and that depends on whether or not the $15,400 local bottom for Bitcoin will hold. As long as that holds, we're in a 4-year cycle. That means that by roughly like 2025, somewhere around that we should have the blow off top and make a lot of money. If the 15K low holds, if it doesn't hold, that means that the market is doing something different. That means our market life cycles are lengthening. That means that we're in a dot-com bubble for crypto. And that means that we're going to get great entries, but it means that it's going to take longer for the market to recover. Currently, right now, the 4-year structure is intact. Everything is fine. So there's nothing to worry about. So yeah, that's that. For now, I'm holding every single coin that we bought. I'm holding every single position that has been executed. I'm not selling. I've been waiting for these entries for a very long time. I'm not going to get shaken out by any narrative out there, but I'm also not going to be executing these entries that are worse than the ones we got. So if we do continue to dollar cost average and diversify, the entries have to be better. It's as simple as that, my friends. As always, whenever I start talking reason and sense, people start logging out. Nobody likes to hear that, but it is what it is. I always say what it is, my friends. I hope that during the euphoria stage, when it's time to start selling, people will listen, unlike the last 2 times. You have any questions, my friend? If you have something that you want to ask, let me know. Sergio Azevedo says, hello, Rob. Hello, Sergio. Thank you for joining, my friend. Good to see you here. Everyone, if you're here, please kindly put a like. I would appreciate the like. You too, Sergio. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. So yeah, that's that, my friends. As always, just go with the flow. People flip-flop a lot, that something happens, something scary happens, I turn bearish, something exciting happens, I turn bullish. Don't do that. Just follow the plan, ignore the noise, and execute the targets. Look at the percentage falls. As I've promised, I'm walking all my members step by step through this bear market, just like I'll be walking them through the bull market. I hope that you're learning, because I purposely post these updates. I purposely explain the way I choose 100x coins so that you understand and learn. I put out the video course for a reason, so you understand and learn. The whole point of what I do in my courses is to make sure that by the time this bear market and the bull market are complete, one cycle, basically, you're completely independent. You never need to hear from me again. You never need any help from me. You're completely independent. You know what to do in bull markets and bear markets. You know what kind of how to use correct TA, not traditional TA, but TA that actually works. And you will know how to work the market sentiment and what kind of strategy you should have. That's the whole point. XRP Hitman says, are you still going to Starbucks every day? Do they have something better there? No, XRP Hitman, my friend. I'm not going to Starbucks every day. I've stopped. I go very rarely. I must say that I don't know what it is. The Starbucks in Dubai and UAE, well, I've also been in Abu Dhabi. It's not like, it's I don't want to say anything bad, because I do like Dubai, but it's the worst Starbucks I've had, to the point where I used to go every single day for like over a decade. And now I stopped, because that's how, the level of Starbucks here. I don't know what it is. Basically, because I like taking caramel cappuccinos, and you just can't feel the caramel. And so it's just like, yeah, I go rarely. TT, okay, if the BTC goes lower than 15K, BTC bubble, you think BTC will do an all-time high about our targets, or it will change? I think that Bitcoin, even if it goes below 15K, I do believe Bitcoin will make an all-time high eventually. I think it will take longer, and our profit taking strategy will change a little bit. But the whole point basically that it will take longer to get there. But I do believe that Bitcoin is going to see new all-time highs either way, irrelevant of whether or not this is a 4-year cycle or if it's a dot-com bubble moment, irrelevant of that. Mr. Muralgi says you'd be surprised the types of coffee you can make with just an espresso. Aeropress. Yeah, my friend, you see, the thing is, I also have basically back in the day when I used to work out hardcore, I used to do combat sambo, wrestling, MMA, grappling, and hit the gym really heavy. You know, I used to be like crazy about sports. Unfortunately, I did this thing where I was fasting, and I did not drink water. And before that, every single day before the fast began, I would drink creatine. So, you know, the creatine retains water in the kidneys. And I did that for a month like an idiot. And I basically really messed up my kidneys. So now I have to be very selective with what I put inside my kidneys, basically what I drink. And most of the coffee, unfortunately, I can't drink since I messed up my kidneys, you know. So I have to be very careful with that. So, yeah, my friends. The update once again is remain patient. I know right now, like I have this thing that usually happens during the bear markets. You know, like I had over 20,000 subscribers. Now it's 19,700 people always unsubscribe because they don't want to hear reason and all that. I get it. I'm boring, but I promise you that what I do works. Right? I've proven it throughout the last two markets. You know, people who've been following me since 2017 know what my track record is. And the people who start following me now, you'll see what the track record is in this cycle. Either way, my whole point is we'll make money irrelevant to what happens. And I'm going to make sure that my members make money irrelevant to what happens. We just have to stay patient. We have to follow the plan. We have to make sure that we're only dollar cost average with equal amounts of money upon new lows. And if we don't get those targets, it's fine. We still got a lot of nice targets. It's fine. The mentality that you always want to invest your entire capital that was allotted for investing, like that you missed out, you can't think that way, right? Like I roughly 50% in the market, roughly 50% is on the sidelines. So if those targets never come, 50% I'm missing out with, but you can't think that way, right? Because if you start thinking that way, you could sell your house or your car or go borrow $100,000 and put that in there, right? And you could have done this and that. You can't think that way. And you shouldn't have all your money in the market either way. It's just poor risk management, right? You should never do that. And me personally, I don't think I've ever had, well, except the first market because I didn't have much money. I had like $12,800. But like the second market cycle, I didn't have all my money in the market because not all my targets hit. And that's okay, you know. Gary Saliba says, how often do you update the spreadsheet and do we have access to the future updates? Gary, the thing is, I don't update the spreadsheet. There's a whole plan. The whole plan was written before the bear market came together, right? So I basically put the million spreadsheet together to explain to people what I've been doing for 2 cycles and what I'm going to do for the 3rd cycle, right? So it's been written out. You have the whole plan for you. You can basically go get the spreadsheet for $5. But if you want to be getting constant updates about my thoughts and to make sure that I remind you to execute an entry if you missed it, or let's say you missed it and now it's there once again, I can remind you once again, execute that specific entry. You do have to stay subscribed in a $5 tier monthly. And there, as I mentioned earlier, though, I do want to add 3 coins now to the million spreadsheet, but they will only be added once again if the market crashes hard. If the market does not crash hard and it does not give us great entries, those coins will not be entered, and the million spreadsheet will not be altered. So, yeah, my friends, remember that crypto is not going to zero. There might be some huge crashes. And we're ready for those crashes. That's why we do have the MS, the million spreadsheet. That's why we have those very low entries that weren't put in there just for the sake of fun. I put them in there because that's what I've been doing for 2 cycles. I put it in there based on historic percentages and crashes and falls. You know, that's why so many of those targets hit, and that's why they still might hit, right? Therefore, do not force entries. Do not put yourself in a position. Although, once again, the structure is bullish right now in the market, but anything can happen. Do not put yourself in a position where you take all your money and invest it now, and if the market crashes much further, let's say, I don't know, alt goes down minus 50% that you bought, and now you're screwed because you can't bring down the dollar cost average in a huge way with the same amount of money because you already injected that money too early into the market. Don't do that to yourself. Make sure that you follow the plan. Because let's say if you put in 10K, I don't know, into Bitcoin at $20,000. And then let's say it goes to 15,000 and you put another 10K, right? You're going to bring down your average significantly. But if you bought with $10,000 at 20K and then you only bought with $1,000 at 15K, you're not really going to change anything. That's why it's so important, what I keep reiterating. Dollar cost average with equal amounts of money. That's very important. Mr. Miyagi says, with all these exchanges delisting ETC, where does one sell in the US with higher enough limits to take profits in the fiat C if one needs to pay a mortgage? Whew, Mr. Miyagi, when it comes to US, unfortunately, I'm not that well informed, my friend. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I used to be in Switzerland, Russia, and now I'm in Dubai, so I can't really help you with the US. Unfortunately, my apologies. So we're 15 minutes in, my friends. It's nearly 16 minutes. If you're here, please kindly once again put a like. Chris Dinoff says, "Hey Rob, would you talk about what we get with your second tier Patreon?" Chris Dinoff, what do you mean exactly, my friend? Which tier? Mr. Miyagi, yeah, my apologies, my friend. When it comes to US, I really don't know how to go about crypto there. I don't have experiences. I haven't lived there. I know that a lot of people had the problem buying XRP in US because only BitTrue and Uphold were still making it available for purchase. So, that's something that I haven't encountered. For example, I always had access to XRP even during the SEC case, Chris Dinoff, the $29 tier. I see what you mean. Basically, the $29 tier, what it gives you, my friend, is that it gives you access to the Millionaire spreadsheet and the video course. But in order for you to download the full video course, you're going to have to go to the very, very beginning. So you go to the post, you scroll down a lot. Maybe it will take you like 3-4 minutes of nonstop scrolling. And there you're going to have, I believe, 2 or 3 separate posts, the very first ones with the full video course and the rules of trading, which you can download. Yeah, that's that. All right, my friends. Thank you very much for joining. I'm going to go spend some time with my wife and child. They went for a walk, so I'm going to go walk with them. Thankfully, like I mentioned earlier, I finally moved to a green neighborhood, so I'm able to walk here. The apartment is much more mediocre. It's much more simpler than the ones I used to rent before, because the other ones were, especially the first one was quite luxury. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a very luxury apartment here in this area, but it really doesn't matter because the apartment is very calm. It has a very nice green atmosphere, and the surroundings are amazing. So I'm very happy. I'm much happier than I was, in that super luxury place in downtown next to the Burj Khalifa. Surroundings are very important. Nature is very important. All right, my friends. Appreciate your time. Have an amazing, amazing day. Please kindly put a like, and I'll catch you in the next slide. Also, by the way, forgot to mention this. Today, I just published my 25th 100x coin. It took me a few months because I was really sorting through them and analyzing and doing everything that needs to be done. If you know my Patreon, you know how to analyze those coins. And also because I was waiting for this retracement for Bitcoin to go below 25K, basically. Now that it happened, I just added the coin. Menzan, thank you for that beautiful message. God bless everyone too. Thank you, my friends. Bye-bye. I'll talk to you later.